What is up, guys? Today I want to talk about the Action 5 Pro, more specifically utilizing the Osmo Action 5 Pro as a photography tool. Everybody knows that this camera can take photographs at the maximum of 40 megapixels, and when people use it, usually you see photographs of like something very crazy or risky, diving, skydiving, action sports, motorsports, and all that stuff. Great. You know, when you're capturing that stuff, you kind of need a camera like this to capture your videos and also some photographs along the way. But as a photographer, I wanted to put this camera to the test a little bit more in the space of like portraits or general purpose photography, because I wanted to figure out if this camera was good enough. Usually my daily carry camera is something like a Ricoh GR or a Sony RX100, something along the lines of that. But I kind of wanted to see if I could just carry this around and snap photographs. I decided to take it one step further and see if I could do some sort of like studio setup and get some creative portraits with this camera. And that's exactly what I did. The other night, I set up my lights and I pulled up some inspiration from Pinterest, and I was like, all right, I have the time, I have the camera, I have the gear, so let's go ahead and try to come up with some portraits utilizing the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. And I was blown away by the results of these photos. I mean, there was a lot of detail in the photos, and if I just look at them without thinking that I utilized an action camera to take these photographs, I would still think that they're pretty good photos. Having shot these photos with the Action 5 Pro makes them just that much more awesome, in my opinion. I think that they went from being really cool creative portraits to, dang, this little camera is pretty dang nice. The process of taking pictures with this camera is just like any other camera that you would mount a super wide angle lens to. You have to mind the environment, you have to mind the distortion, proximity to your subject, and all those things that apply not just to this camera, but to any other camera. Maybe the advantage that you would have with another camera that has a larger sensor and actually autofocus and all that stuff is that you can dial in your depth of field and you can separate your subject from the background that much more. And you might be thinking to yourself, why would I even use this camera to take photos? Like, that's just stupid. It's not what it's meant for. It's meant to capture action stuff, and this is not action. These are portraits. And I would agree with you 100%, but curiosity got to me, and I wanted to know if this camera was actually capable of taking higher quality photos. And to my surprise, it did, and it does. And I guess I also wanted to make this video because I don't generally see action cam photography as being a thing out there, and I thought that it was interesting. At least it was interesting to me, the fact that you can capture more curated or creative photography with a camera such as this one, which obviously leads me to the conclusion that it's never the camera, it's the person behind the camera and the creativity behind it. So there you go, that's it. This was not meant to be a review about this camera. This is just meant to present images taken with this camera strictly for photography. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to my channel. Check out my other videos on the Osmo Action 5 Pro, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.